Welcome to the D1 Diary. I'm Madison Donnelly.
And I'm Skyler Shellmeyer.
This podcast is to give current and former athletes at the collegiate or professional level the light to share their individual and personal stories about life during athletics and everything behind the scenes.
Although the landscape of college athletics is ever changing, we want to give these athletes the opportunity to discuss the real thoughts and effects of what happens inside the minds of collegiate athletes.
Welcome back, guys, to the D1 Diary. Today we are doing something a little different, and we are going to be popcorning relevant sports topics.
Woo!
So I've chosen some topics, Skylar's chosen some topics. We don't know who has chosen what, and we're just going to give our thoughts on it.
Yeah. How was your day today?
It was pretty good. How about you?
Slow, but good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The athletic counselor life is treating you well?
It's okay. I'm like ready to... I should not say this, but I don't know what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got home today early before Vaughn, and Vaughn is my boyfriend. But I got home and I was like doing my laundry. All of a sudden I heard him like come in the door. I was like, shit, I'm going to hide from him. Like spur of the moment, I was like, okay, I want to hide from him. So I'm like tucked down, not under my bed, but to the side, like in like a little crevice where he really had to like look for me. Like
You were by the bed?
Yeah. So like if you go in my room in this corner, like the bed's in the middle of the room, my side of it, like there's like a little tiny space where like I was at. 'Cause like the angle, like if you were just like walk in there and glance, you wouldn't see me. Literally go around the bed.
Yeah.
To like find me. So I was like, duck. I don't know why I hid. I just did it.
Okay, but I've seen stuff like this on social media where like the wife has like a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
And like her husband comes home and it's like a funny
Yeah,
thing.
except I didn't have a Nerf gun. I was just hiding.
Well, yeah.
I was just hiding for no reason. But anyway, so yeah, I was hiding. And I swear to God, I was like, he comes in, he's like, hello? Like, Skyler?
Yeah.
He's like talking to the cat. He's like, where's mama? I don't know. And I'm just like laying there like trying not to laugh. And then finally he stops looking for me and fucking goes to the fridge and just starts eating snacks for like 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah. I was just like laying there. I was like, bro.
So he failed.
Yeah, he did. And finally I like got up. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna come out. Like I thought he was like, at first I thought that I don't know, he knew I was there, but he wanted me to come out first.
Yeah. Well, right, because you thought he like knew where you were, and he was like, oh, haha, like.
Yeah. But anyways, I came out and like I slowly like tiptoed out of the bedroom and I started talking. He's like, holy shit. I was like, hey. He's like, weird play.
Yeah.
It's not weird.
No, I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but I think this could be like the new peel an orange trend. Have you seen that on TikTok?
No.
It's like you ask your boyfriend to peel an orange for you. And obviously you can peel the orange yourself, but it's to show that they care about you.
Oh, God.
So maybe it's like...
Do you believe that theory? Have you done it with your boyfriend?
I haven't. I should do this to him. I think he would because he's like very handy.
There's no way in hell.
He wouldn't peel your orange?
He said he looked for me.
Okay.
You know what he did? He just popped his head into the bedroom.
And he was like, oh, she's not here.
And I said, what if I was taken?
True. You would... Wait, do you guys have each other's locations?
Yeah, and he saw I was here.
Oh, okay. So at least he checked.
Yeah, he checked.
But that's even more concerning.
I know. I was like, you didn't like look for me more thoroughly?
Also, your apartment is not that large.
It's not that big.
Like what? Okay, true. Vaughn would not peel the orange, but if you want to test your boyfriends, ladies, hide in your living complex and see if he tries to find you.
Hide under your bed and just wait for him to not find you because he won't look for you
because he's scrolling on Instagram and eating snacks.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, anyways, that was my little update, but
nothing
whatever.
that exciting happened to me today. Okay. Or that disappointing, I guess.
However you want to look at it.
Yeah. But exciting things are happening in the sports world.
Yes.
Good and bad.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So my first topic for you is the women's only watch bars for Women's March Madness.
Okay.
And our thoughts around that?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm wondering how successful they are. I think with like March Madness right now, wait, is that what you said?
Yes.
They're only for March Madness?
So they've been featured for March Madness. My understanding is there is a bar in Portland called the Sports Bra for a sports bar, which is so funny. I think that's so creative of a name.
I feel like I've seen that on TikTok.
Yeah, I think they've been very popular in the media this month. But I think they will only be playing women's sports. Like that's the whole concept of the bar. Versus there are 18 other places that had watch parties for March Madness, specifically just showing Women's March Madness, and the brand Together by Alex Morgan, Chloe Kim, she's a pro snowboarder, Jess Robertson, Simone Manuel, a swimmer, and Sue Bird. They created this brand, and it just is bringing awareness to women's sports. And one of the things they did was map out all the bars across the country that are participating or participated, because this is past tense, in those women's watch parties for March Madness, you know, to like raise more awareness and whatever. One of the bars, so only one did this in Chicago, and it's Whiskey Girl Tavern. Have you been there?
Tavern?
Yeah, or have you heard of it?
I feel like we had a Whiskey Thief Tavern in Evanston.
We did, yeah.
So not the same. Whiskey Girl Tavern. Yeah, that's cool.
Like, would you attend with a group of girls? Like, we're both former female athletes. Like, I think it's definitely a super fun idea for March Madness.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be anti-women, but if that was the whole bar all the time, I think that would be challenging. I mean, think about...
Well, yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, when you were like, yeah, like, would you go? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe now during March Madness when the whole, like, Caitlin Clark and her run is going on and all the fantastic women's basketball players are, like, showing out right now. Yeah, I think there'd be super sick atmosphere, but if this was, like, a year-round thing and that's all they kind of did...
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it's cool if they, like, favored it, but... I don't know, something I've been thinking about a lot is, aren't we doing the same thing that men did? Like how many years ago?
Right. I feel like the point is not to go 180.
Yeah.
And just show women's sports, because, I mean, we don't want bars to just show men's sports, right?
Exactly. Like, so, what if that, like, you know, whole revolution comes around and now you have bars popping up that are just men's sports? Like, why don't we just show sports?
I agree. I mean, I think women are getting more visibility.
Which is awesome. And
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't want to, like...
And I think there should be more visibility. But the concept of having just a women's sports only bar, I mean, you could compare this to if a bar came out and was like, we're just going to play baseball games.
Yeah, I'm sure a small number of people will be like, yeah, that's awesome.
But you're probably going to lose some business because naturally you want to play the most popular thing at that exact time of year.
Well, and you're just like limiting your pool. I don't know. Like, I love women's sports. I also love watching football. So guess what? I'm not going to your bar if you don't play football on Sundays.
Right. Like, it would be and then it would also be nice, you know, if the bars that play football also play the NWSL games and whatever's popular during that month. Like, I think there just is a balance. But the fact that visibility is increasing is amazing. And according to Nielsen, the WNBA draft saw a 42% increase in viewership between 22 and 23. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Kind of my segue is, do you think sports betting and the increase in sports betting will also correlate with the increase in viewership for women's sports?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I, like, am so... Ever since we had Liz on, I'm, like, anti-sports betting.
I know. I was thinking about that when I was reading these articles.
Yeah.
I mean, global sports betting has increased $119.84 billion in 2023.
That's terrible.
$119 billion. And a 27.5% uptick just in 2023. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And guess who gets it? not the winners.
No. It's
like Liz said.
DraftKings.
Yeah, it's the freaking company. Like, honestly, props to them. It's a genius freaking marketing scheme. Not even marketing scheme. It's a genius
business idea.
Business thing. Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're making lots of money, and it's making watching sports in general more competitive.
I will say that is true. Whenever Vaughn bets for a game,
you're like more engaged.
Can I even say that?
Yeah.
Even though he's Canadian?
I'm not familiar with Canadian law.
I don't know if that's illegal. Okay, anyways. Whenever Vaughn like bets for a game here and there, I find myself like more tapped in. So I get it. Yes. I fully get it. I'm just anti. I don't own any betting accounts. I don't condone it. I don't
know what would be similar, because it's not even like these people for the most part are betting a lot of money. It's these like $2, $5 bets.
Yeah, but it racks up.
Oh, I agree with you. It racks up, but like, how could we make watching sports more engaging that doesn't involve betting? And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, because you already have the booze factor.
Right.
You already have that anywhere you go with your your sports bars. Yeah, I mean, no. If it's increasing viewership, great.
It's not increasing for like the passion of the sport necessarily, though.
No, it's just people to make a quick buck.
Right.
And then shit on. You weren't there when I first saw Liz talk. Her speech that she gave when I was at work, she more talked about the correlation of like death threats, because these young like 18 to 22-year-olds, because they didn't play well and they lost some man with a lot of money, they lost him a lot of money.
Oh, I didn't hear this part.
Yeah, no, she didn't talk about this when we interviewed her.
This actually makes sense, though, because I know this happens in, like, poverty-ridden countries where they are star players. If they, like, lose the World Cup game, they have, like...
They get fucking killed.
Yeah, they get killed. Or they just have serious death threats from these gangs and drug lords.
Yes.
So it's interesting that there's a parallel.
I also think this just goes, like, what is sports betting doing for any of the athletes besides potentially giving them an opportunity to cheat if they partake in their own sports betting, the opportunity to get death threats? They don't get any money from it.
I was just going to say, I mean, it does not benefit the athletes because they can't make money off of it.
Well, that, and yeah, if the viewership rises, okay, they're not seeing a lick.
Right.
So,
I mean, college athletes aren't paid, so if viewership goes up, they're not getting paid more. You could argue professional.
Well, you could argue NIL, I guess, by saying if they're viewed more, okay, then they'll get more well-known, and then people will want to contribute.
The colleges aren't paying them, though. It's really just through the brand deals.
I feel like they say that, though, that colleges aren't paying them, but you have associated organizations that basically assist with all of that happening and their players making money. Best example I have is True and You. It's like a Northwestern nonprofit, and they organize like NIL things to happen, and they pay the players to go attend.
Attend what exactly?
Attend these events that are set up. So it is like a quid pro
quo.
Is that how you say that? Quid pro
quo?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Quid pro quo. That doesn't sound right.
It's not.
Quid pro.
It's one word, right?
Quid pro quo. A favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something.
Okay, but that's slimy. I feel like that's not like a real transaction.
No, but they're doing like a lot of the things I see on Instagram is like some of my former teammates, they'll go to like a school and they work with the kids, and they'll get X amount of money for going, because that's like NIL, it's like name, image, and likeness.
Right.
Or I did dance marathon where I had to go coin around the football game for 2 hours. For dance marathon, I got $500.
I didn't know this.
2 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was sick. It's like the most money I made. It was awesome.
I should have played softball. Or I should have been better at soccer. One of the two.
Well, no, they offered it the whole team.
What?
Yes, and like you were gone at this point. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, this was last year.
This is my 5th year. I'm almost positive. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But now they do it for every sport.
Huh.
We're really off track. I'm sorry.
No, this is important stuff. I mean, I didn't even know this is how some of the NIL things were working behind the scenes.
I mean, that's only Northwestern. I can only imagine what like Texas.
Oh yeah, for like
all those people
football teams and whatever that have a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back. Some athletes are definitely profiting very nicely off of NIL, and maybe that's not public knowledge because only they see the brand deals. They don't see hang out with my kindergartner and you're getting paid $500.
Yeah. But you were talking about betting and increasing viewership, right? We were talking about how athletes aren't saying anything, and we were like, well, you can make the argument that with increased viewership means increased brand deals.
Right.
Right? Like, I guess that's the NCAA's like roundabout way of like, hey, you have the opportunity to make money. Shut up.
But then also you were just turning these athletes into influencers.
Dude, it's actually annoying. I'm sorry. Like, I love that athletes are able to make their own money. College athletes. So I understand that like, some people, they're providing for their family. I understand that. I think that's a good side of it. I'm just annoyed. Like,
I mean, I see people I've played with, and they're like posting with their like local restaurant collab on their personal Instagram, and I'm like, I just want to like see you in your life. I don't want to see what you're eating today, and I know you're like making money off of it. It's just
I especially
odd.
I especially think if you're in college athletics and a lot of your friends are college athletes, yeah, your feed is just like, go buy my Liquid IV, use code blah blah to get 15% off.
I also feel like people know it's like, I don't want to say superficial. Some people are partnering with brands that they are really passionate about or use on a daily basis, or they love that restaurant. But I just feel like maybe social media as a whole has just turned into this shopping, superficial landscape of marketing. And
oh my gosh, that's like the number one reason why I deleted TikTok.
You did?
Yeah, I don't have TikTok. I have Instagram still, but that's because of what we do.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was just being marketed to every time I opened the app. Like,
all the captions are 10% off of whatever.
Or ads, or like, this is what I use for my hair. Go buy it.
Oh my god, everyone has a different thing too.
Yes.
And there's TikTok Shop now.
Yes, and I was just so over it. I was so over
how
it.
Is everything on TikTok Shop cheaper than like what it is in real life?
I don't know.
It's like the new Amazon.
Yeah, it's just, I don't love it. I deleted it. I was like, get this out of my face. I still have Instagram Reels, of course, but it's a little different.
I think when you take the human component out of social media, people get annoyed.
Yes. I don't know. I deleted all my social media except for X. I guess it's Twitter. I love Twitter because it's like my news feed. I don't go on it that much, honestly. It's mostly just like catch up on the Cats game or like check quick scores on things. And then you have Instagram, and that one's my bad one right now. But I don't have TikTok. I don't use Facebook. I don't have Snapchat. Did you delete yours too?
Yes. Oh, literally as I graduated.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I deleted mine. Honestly, same.
Like, if you have it post-grad, it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, are we in high school? Yeah. You're going to snap me?
Like, I don't even think about it anymore.
No.
I really don't.
What do you even put on a Snap story?
Dude.
A picture of your beer? You're legal now.
You know how bad my Snapchat stories used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun in high school because everything's illegal, and it's probably fun in college because you're like trying to be sneaky and everyone wants to know what everyone's doing every weekend, and there's 1,000 options. So the many options you don't choose, you're like, oh, like what did these people do? But post grad, it's like, okay, like, don't you have work Monday?
Yeah, like I'm just imagining me like in my office.
Yeah, like what are you posting or like trying to see?
I don't miss that app at all.
No, like it's an app for sins.
No, it literally is. And you don't communicate. You just see each other's faces.
No, it's so awkward. Can we talk about how fucking awkward streaks were? And why?
Oh my god!
Why was that created? And why did we all participate?
Dude! Hey, again, I applaud the marketing scheme.
Snapchat really got us all on that one.
Iconic, honestly.
People were like actually addicted.
Yeah, Dude, I had a streak with fucking Bird. I want to say it was like 1,000.
That's like over 3 years. Maybe not over, but...
No, it was up there.
But like, why? It provides
Don't
no
know.
value.
No, and for a minute, like as I was like debating deleting Snapchat, I was like, but what about my streaks? And then, like, but that's so many people's reasons. Like, or if someone gets their phone taken away,
I think,
like, can you stab my streak for me?
No, the streak thing is just like a habit. If you did the same thing for 3 years in a row, and then you just woke up one day and you're like, I'm not gonna do it anymore, like that would be weird.
It's like the dopamine wheel, because it gives you some sort of like dopamine to do that,
or just like your routine. It's now in your routine.
Truth.
Anyways,
we got off on a tangent there. Sports betting.
Yeah, sports betting. Women's sports now rank in more than $1 billion a year, and maybe that has to do with sports betting, and maybe not. I think more just the viewership and TV deals that are putting it, like, it's a lot more accessible now, which is cool. I also think people are talking about it more, and coming from a sports background and working in sports and sportswear, a big thing for popularity is just like having a face that propels a whole sport. Like, you look at Michael Jordan.
I think you go back to like
Messi.
like that.
Like in the U.S. right now, men's soccer wasn't popular. Guess what? Now it is. Now people are buying Messi jerseys. So when it comes to women's sports, I worked for the LPGA for a little bit. Their whole thing was, we need to find that it girl that people want to watch.
Like Caitlin Clark.
Yep, Caitlin
exactly.
Clark
She's like the fucking it girl
for women's basketball. So
honestly, women's sports. I'll say it,
pop off Caitlin. But if we had a Caitlin Clark in every sport, then it would naturally become more popular.
100%. I so agree with that. Speaking of Caitlin Clark, I'll bounce my first topic off you. Okay, so Caitlin Clark, and you know the infamous, it's almost like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader is how I've been kind of seeing it with the whole LSU Iowa matchup. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Angel Reese played on LSU. Everyone fucking hates her.
Why?
Because she's like, I don't know. I haven't been following, but like people don't like Angel because I think she just speaks her mind. She speaks her mind. She's a damn good basketball player. Like I said, I use the analogy of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. Yeah. She's kind of like the Darth Vader of this iconic matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark being like Luke Skywalker. Like everyone loves her.
Yeah.
And like they spin it poorly on Angel, right? Okay. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. But Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're both declaring for the WNBA draft. Angel Reese the other day posted on all of her socials like a video being like, thank you LSU, thank you Maryland, like I'm out, meaning she's going to declare.
Right.
And then Caitlin Clark also earlier this year declared for the WNBA draft. My thing was, because I'm almost positive that Caitlin Clark has another year of eligibility. She's making, do you know how much fucking money she's making?
No.
Over $1 million.
Really? In college?
Yes. Let's actually just look it up. Like Caitlin Clark.
I take back all my statements about the NIL.
Yeah, dude. NIL. This was posted April 2nd. Caitlin Clark and 9 other college athletes making over $1 million a year from NIL deals. Caitlin Clark has made more than $3 million from NIL deals, but she's not the highest earner in the country. So my point being, with knowing this, she made over $3 million.
So we did college sports wrong,
dude.
So we need to go back in time 5 years.
Yes. And if I was better, sure. Like I'd probably make some.
I mean, to be honest, I love this for them.
No, I think it's so awesome. My point I'm making is that they're both declaring for the WNBA draft. So they're going to go into the WNBA. WNBA pays fucking shit.
Oh, you're saying they're making more from NIL
than
the pro league.
Yes,
that is ironic.
And it's the same thing for a lot of WNBA players go play overseas because they actually get paid more money. But the WNBA has actually tried to kind of like make that impossible for them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some article out there that says that they have to have like a percentage of it gets cut or something, or the WNBA isn't happy that these players are doing that.
So then pay them more.
Yeah. Right?
Match
Simple
the prices.
Yeah.
No, this is true for women's soccer too. I don't think across all countries, but I did have a friend playing in Israel, and she was like, the competition is so much worse, obviously, because the U.S. dominates women's soccer, but I got paid so much more.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I mean, I don't think everyone would uproot their life and move to Israel, just get paid, I don't know how much it was. You could say 20, 30 grand more. But,
no, but I mean,
for a season?
For a season, and you get to keep playing the sport you love, and
the competition's worse, so you're just like,
you're killing it. Like, yeah, go freaking boost your stats and come back here, I guess.
So
like,
I think the WNBA needs to do better, and I don't know what plays into their finances, but you can't limit women from higher paid opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm actually really interested to see what the WNBA does, because I think it's obvious that Caitlin Clark, she's going to go number one
right
in the WNBA draft.
I mean, all the press alone, I think any team would just draft her, because then people are going to be watching her games.
100%. That's like income in their freaking back pocket.
Right.
I want to know what she's going to freaking make. I want to know. I want to know exactly. You know, and
because theoretically it should be a record-breaking WNBA salary.
Right? You would
because
think.
she is the one propelling the most viewership right now in women's basketball.
100%.
So it should be some groundbreaking number that the WNBA hasn't seen before.
I 100% agree, and I was kind of thinking over here, just because her NIL, I guess her amateur status is not expiring, but she's choosing to no longer continue with that. Can't she still just keep making the same money she's making from brand deals and shit?
I mean, I don't know the answer to that question.
I mean, you would think that, like, she's like State Farm.
I think those things can continue. I think the only things that, and I don't know this for sure, that may conflict is if her pro team has, like, a beverage brand deal.
That's good.
Let's say it's Gatorade, but in college, Powerade was paying her. Then that's something that might contradict, and she may no longer be able to do something like that. Again, I don't know. That's just, like...
No,
from what I know about sponsors, that's the only thing I could see being limiting.
I feel like that's more of a conflict, though, in college. Like, technically, if you're Under Armour, you're not supposed to go get it branded with Nike, right?
Right.
But I feel like you see a lot of these pro teams, they have all, like, Nike uniforms. Like, football, I'm thinking football. They all wear Nike uniforms, but I'm pretty sure, like, Aaron Rodgers is sponsored by Adidas.
We should fact check these.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is sponsored by Adidas. The NFL is Nike. So I don't know if that will play a factor. Like, I feel like it's more of a college thing, because even if you make it to the NCAA tournament, they're Powerade. NCAA is technically Powerade. So we had to, like, ditch all of our Gatorade bottles, and we had to, like, get Powerade bottles to use just to, like, be seen on TV. So I think it's more, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
I don't know where
we
we're going with
will
that.
keep an eye on that. Caitlin, I hope you keep all your brand deals.
Yeah, shit.
Get your
girl,
bag, sis.
Get your bag, girl. Dude, I actually, like, really want to know how she spends her fucking money.
Oh my god, that would be so interesting. Because first of all, as a student athlete, what are you spending it on? Because I assume she's on a full ride.
Yeah, that's...
Most of her meals are covered. I don't think you have time to go out, Caitlin. You're pretty important right now.
Dude.
So... I don't know. And you have $1 million in your back pocket.
She put a down payment on a house.
That's what I was thinking. But I interviewed a famous athlete during college, and I know they went bankrupt buying sports cars. Custom sports cars. Because you could be in your 20s, like Caitlin is, or you could be in your 30s. If all of a sudden you have this influx of $1 million, it's like, yeah, what do you spend it on? Oh, things that you
random
never buy before. What would you buy, Skyler?
Fuck, dude. Oh, God. I don't even know. I'm on the spot. I would buy... Oh, my God. See, now that you asked me that, I'm like, I have everything I need. No, take that back. I would buy Vaughn a car.
Oh my God, yes.
No, I would buy myself a new car and give him my car since he drives it more than me. I would buy a new car, but I've never been like a flashy person, so I would just buy like a Ford. I'm a Ford stan.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Fords will still cost you, what, 40 grand?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, cars are one of the biggest money sucks and hardest things to pay for.
I would buy a house.
I would buy a condo in full. And I feel like rent, especially now, is so high, or even mortgage payments, that just not having that monthly expense, coming home to a place you own and you aren't paying for anymore would be nuts.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude.
I don't know where we are, but
yeah.
Let's pivot.
Okay.
Another one of my topics. So, in the news this week, former NHLer Bobby Ryan faces criticism for mocking women's sports. Just because we are talking about women's sports, it's a funny tie-in. His quote, "Name 7 players, first and last names, go for it." He was like mocking women's sports, saying that you couldn't
name
7 players.
7 players. Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Off the top of your head. You're gonna... Okay.
Simone Biles, Abby Wambach, Mia Hamm, Alex Morgan, and we can go with Caitlin Clark.
Is that 7?
That's 5.
Name 7.
Shoot.
Was what's his nuts correct?
Okay, but you go.
Can we first define some parameters here? Is it college? Professional?
Women's sports. Let's keep it broad.
All right.
I mean, we can't name
Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese. There's all basketball for you. Fucking Kansas Robinson. Shout out Kansas. Was that 4?
Yeah.
Veronica Burton.
Cheating, maybe.
Hey, I'm not. They are professional or current college athletes.
Okay, true.
Hold on, I'm not there. Myself and you.
Okay.
Mic drop.
Okay, but why is this a problem? And I think I have an answer for it.
Okay.
Part of it is the viewership component. But also, I will tell you, it would be hard for me to name 7 men's professional players, first and last name, to be honest, because I am not invested myself in any men's sports league. So if you are religiously watching one sports league, of course you know all the players. That comes with being a loyal, I don't want to say consumer, but viewer. Or a consumer of that sports league. So I think it's part of viewership problem because, I mean, I'm bad with names. Like, even in the work world, I come in contact with so many people. I couldn't tell you their first and last names most of the time. Unless I'm seeing you on a daily basis and we've like made this relationship because I'm seeing you so much, I'm not gonna know your first and last name. Sorry, but I'm not. So if you are watching a certain sports league on a daily, weekly basis, of course you know all the players. And if you're not gonna be able to name them.
I think this goes back to your point of if you only show women's sports in a bar, yeah, your viewers are only going to know women's sports. If you only show men's sports in a bar, your viewers are only going to know men's sports. So why don't we just show all sports?
Right. And yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. So viewership, but also just the consistency. Mm-hmm. Think about school.
Yeah.
If you are studying for a test, you are studying for, I don't know, a couple days, take the test, all that information usually goes out the window. Mm-hmm. You could be really invested in this March Madness for women's basketball.
A couple years from now.
Learn a couple names, but, like, will you actually remember those girls in, I don't know, 2-3 years when they're drafted? Are you going to continue watching them? Mm-hmm. Are you going to know their names in 3 years? I think it's all a consistency thing.
100%.
I mean,
I think you can
LeBron has been around for how many freaking years now?
Yeah.
And so he's a household name now.
He's also, like, one of the best basketball players ever. I think you can spin it either way, but because like Caitlin Clark has, she's made a name for herself.
That's
regardless if she like, you know, how well she does in pro.
But also, sorry,
shift.
Caitlyn, but let's play hypothetical here. Caitlyn loses a leg tomorrow. And no, I'm being serious. In 5 years, do you think people, maybe because it's a tragic story and she rose to fame for this blimp in women's basketball, people will remember her. But unless she is competing for the next 5 to 10 years and continues to be this star player, will she really be a household name? I don't think so.
You have a point. My only thing against that is that the amount of records she has broken.
Okay, that's true.
But there was, God, I wish I had like actual like hard names here, but do you remember seeing in like social media probably a couple weeks ago where they were talking about how Caitlin Clark broke the overall scoring record for Division I basketball, men's and women's?
Yes.
There's a controversy there saying that she broke only the women's because she's a women's basketball player. But then people are like, no, she's the all-time leading scorer of both men's and women's. But then people are like, well, you would never say that if it was a man playing basketball breaking the women's record.
And also, like, she wasn't competing in the men's league, so that doesn't really make sense.
Exactly. So, but the guy...
Bobby.
Was that his name?
Yes. Bobby Ryan.
No. The guy is...
Not Bobby.
The guy whose record Caitlyn broke.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the fuck he was. That's my point.
And he held the most...
Yes, he had the
baskets
most. He had the most points in men's Division I basketball.
And we don't know who he is.
I have no fucking clue. I've never known his name. So I'm saying your point is right.
So, okay, so we're not totally against your point, Bobby. He's also he's a podcast host, so if we ever go big, this is going to be interesting.
He's a podcaster? Shit, man.
No, this quote is so funny. In one article roasting Bobby Ryan, it goes, "The choice to go public with his thoughts is puzzling and has certainly hurt his reputation among many who consider themselves fans of second overall pick from the 2005 draft."
I don't even fucking know who Bobby whatever his nuts is. No, but you were saying that in this like blimp of time, yeah, we know who these people are because, you know, they're standing out in the crowd. But in 5-10 years from now, we're not going to know. I'm not going to remember their names.
Right.
That's fucking anybody.
Yeah.
That's anybody.
Like, think about when you die in 70 years, 10 years later, ask around if your grandchildren know who the fuck you are. And I guarantee you, I cannot name my great-grandfather's first and last name. So sorry, it's my lineage. But
I mean, I don't know mine either.
So, you know... Bobby does, I hate to say it, Bobby, but you do have a point.
I see your point, Bobby, but Bobby, you're one of the names that has been forgotten. Just letting you know. True. No one knows who you are. Goodbye, Bobby.
I almost want to just like go down the streets of Chicago, and you know how all those like TikToks of the pop-up interviewers where they just ask that point blank question. I want to go up to everyone and be like, "Do you know who Bobby Ryan is?"
Yeah.
And everyone is going to say no.
No.
I promise you. And no one would know who the fuck I am either. So like
no. You know what I was thinking the same thing. I was like, you know, no one knows who I am. No one cares.
So, yeah. So anyways, moving on.
You know, overall, last note, people need to like get a grip on their ego. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, everyone wants to have, like, a super strong point about this. And I think the point is literally just consistency.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bring in a hot topic.
Okay, go for it.
Shohei Ohtani. Have you heard the name? Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay. Shohei Ohtani is an infamous, I'm going to say famous. He's a famous baseball player. He used to play for the Angels. He's a pitcher who also bats. He's a very good hitter, very good pitcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's played for the Angels. He ended up leaving the Angels last year, and he ended up signing a like enormous deal with the Dodgers. Anyways, so Shohei is from, I should know all these things, and I don't.
But to Bobby's point, we don't.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to bomb that. So, Shohei's from Japan. So, he, like, does not speak English.
Okay.
He has this translator who, obviously, he translates from Japanese to English.
Okay.
And this translator was with him at the Angels, and now he's with him at the Dodgers, like, always with him.
Okay.
I'm getting to my point here. So, there was this scandal that came out.
With the translator?
With the translator and Shohei. Basically, like, kind of saying that, you know, they're, like, pretty much best friends. They've been with each other for so long. They know, like, everything about each other.
Are they more than best friends?
No. So, the scandal is that, so his translator's name, I don't know how to pronounce it.
We can go with initials.
Like, Ippei. It's Ippei, sorry.
Okay.
Mizuhara. Whatever. Okay, so his translator,
Nobody
Ippei,
will remember in 10 years anyways.
Fucking Christ. You're right. All right. His translator, Ippei, apparently stole at least $4 million from Shohei to pay off gambling debts with an alleged illegal bookie in California.
Ooh, Ippei needs to listen to our gambling episode.
Yes, but the theory is that these guys have been with each other and known of each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
People think it was actually Shohei
that's framing
betting
Ippei,
and Ippei is taking the fall.
Oh, and he's probably doing things during games to solidify those funds.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, granted, it's TikTok, but TikToks and videos out there of him like throwing games. That's the hot topic right now with Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. But
it's definitely a pretty good conspiracy theory if it's not true.
That's what I'm saying. And I guess they had a press conference saying that he was unaware of the payments and never bet on sports with the bookie.
So, let me get this straight. Translators can sports bet. Is that the deal? And that's how this is able to become
I mean, yeah, because they're not playing. Well, that's actually a really good question.
If you are involved very closely with the athletes.
No, that's such a good point because, like, I can't even bet in my role.
Oh, really?
I'm not allowed to because I work for college athletics. And I am an insider almost. So I can't bet.
I'm assuming the translator was like a loophole because he's probably not employed by athletics. I think. It's got to be a personal translator.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see him being allowed to bet. But that's crazy.
I want to say that's like a personal thing because I think they were friends from like childhood. That's what the TikTok said. The TikTok. Whatever.
Our reliable source.
Fuck, dude.
Anyways, moving on to some more factual information.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to make this podcast about me, but I am running the Boston Marathon in 2 weeks.
Oh, snaps.
And there is some funny folklore / tradition about the Boston Marathon.
Okay, let's hear it.
People may not be aware of. And it's at mile 13 or the Scream Tunnel. A tradition was created because that is where this private school, I think it's Wellesley. It used to be an all-girls private school. It's where they would watch the marathon, and they started like blowing kisses and whatever to the runners because women couldn't run until 1966, so it was all male runners. And then it became a thing where the runners would kiss the Wellesley College private school girls on mile 13. Running into the tunnel. They'd all be like screaming and cheering and like leaning over the like spectator boards, and so it became a thing, and it still exists, except Wellesley is now a co-ed school, so it's still more of a male runner goes up and like kisses a girl type of thing.
Wait, on the cheek or like a...
No, full on smooch mid race. They like will stop and like make out mid marathon. I had no idea.
But you better dodge that shit. Stick arm! Stick arm! Get away!
I'm in a relationship. I'll be running in the middle of the lane.
Get away from me!
No, I don't think they can lunge at you, but it's more a funny thing to do. And funny for the college kids too, so it became a tradition.
Interesting. Kind of fun.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah, if your boyfriend's running, the Boston Marathon, you better hang out on mile 13. You better get all your girls to line mile 13.
I don't know about you, but if I'm running a marathon, I'm like, get away.
Yeah, that would also, if you're
I'm panting.
If you're trying to do semi-well on any marathon, you're not stopping to, fucking make out.
No.
Also, you already ran pretty much half a marathon, and you're gonna stop and, suck someone's face and, keep running.
Give a girl a hickey and just fucking take off again? Bro.
Anyways, I will have my eyes open mile 13.
Take some pics or it didn't happen.
Okay,
Pics or it didn't happen. I don't believe this shit.
No, I'm
just make out on the Boston Marathon.
My camera is gonna be open on video, and I'm gonna try.
Are you recording the whole thing?
I'm not gonna record the whole thing.
You should do mile by mile.
Oh, like
make
the TikToks.
And then Adidas can use it, and you can make some money.
They won't.
Oh. Are you gonna wear Adidas shoes?
I will. So, objectively, the best marathon shoes right now are the Adios Pro 3. They have the most world major marathon records. So, it's the fastest shoe in the market right now. So, I'll be wearing those shoes for the race. And maybe I'll slow down around mile 13. Do a little head rotation, see if people are
scan with your phone,
making out on the sides of me. Use that as leverage to run by them. But crazy tradition.
Yeah,
that I did not know about.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know there was traditions like that. I just thought it was okay, it's business. It's Boston Marathon. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I thought it was super serious, and I think it is. Yeah. But it's also a huge party in Boston. School shut down for the day. People have the day off of work, literally to spectate the marathon.
Really?
Yep.
They have work in Boston?
It's more important than a holiday.
That's crazy.
I know.
But I can only imagine. Boston's not that big and a ton of people coming to town. Yeah, dude. I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
No.
So it's a super fun event, and I'm excited.
That's fun. I'm really excited for you. I'm wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous because I'm not trying to time qualify.
Okay. What would the qualifier be for? If you time qualify.
So the main race to qualify for is Boston.
You
qualify for there. Yeah, but if you qualify for some of the other majors, for example, New York, this is relevant to this year actually. So the time qualifying for women is even harder than Boston because New York has the most applications for the lottery out of any of the world majors. So this year, I did apply. I didn't get in. Only 4% of lottery applicants were accepted for this year's New York Marathon.
What do you mean? How do you get in otherwise? Time?
Yeah, you would have to be a pro runner. You would have to run under 3 hours as a woman, which is insane. So
timed or the lottery is the New York.
Or you can do charity, but you have to raise a couple $1,000s.
Do it, bro.
It's a lot harder than you think it is.
I think so, but do it.
If you get more subscribers, maybe they can chip in. But yeah, so those are your 3 options usually. So Boston used to be the only world major you could not do charity for. I don't know when they overturned it, but it was pretty recently. But the charity is set a lot higher. I think it's $10,000 to be able to run it. So it's a whole thing.
Got it. Wait, sorry. Your goal, though, is to run 7 major?
So right now,
all world?
6. There's talk about Australia being added, Sydney, as a 7th major. But
okay, where are all the majors?
So in the U.S., it's Boston, which is what people say is the hardest to get into. New York and Chicago. I've gotten denied from New York once, Chicago twice now. And then internationally, it's Berlin, London, and Tokyo.
Shit. That'd be so fucking sick.
I know.
So you're not going to time trial it or try to compete to qualify?
No, I'm just going to run it because to do all 6 majors and get that medal that says you completed all 6 world majors, you don't need a certain time. You just have to run them all. But obviously to get into Boston, usually you have to qualify for that time.
So I'm wondering, since you already qualified for Boston back in November, is that a lifetime guarantee, or is that
oh, as in I could run it
whenever you want?
No, it is the one race admission.
Oh shit. How's your body been? You feeling good?
Yes. So I trained for my first marathon, ran it in November. I had about a month off, started training for Boston, and I feel like my body was already so prepped from the previous marathon that this training plan has been a breeze.
Really?
Yeah. And last training plan, like, I was hurting towards the end. Like, I was getting weird, like, Achilles pain. And
did you tweak it a little bit or what?
I did tweak it. I cut out 2 of the 4 long runs, like the longest long runs, which are really important for your training and being able to hit that 26.2, especially at a fast time.
Yeah.
I cut half of them out, technically.
Shit.
And I still did very well. So I just listened to my body. But this time around, had no issues, ran all 4 of the longest long runs, have been sticking pretty much to the training plan.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel good.
Great.
So it's really just priming your body.
Yeah. I remember when we were hanging out, kind of before we launched this thing, in the early stages, but you were, like, not drinking. Are you in that phase now? Or are you kind of, like, a little bit more lax with it? Do you feel like the training is more just gotta go run? Or is it, like, the other shit that matters too?
I think it's everything. I mean, the drinking rule was more just to cut back from what I was doing prior to marathon training, and I wasn't doing anything crazy, but even just one night a week going out, it ruins the next 2 to 3 days. I mean, I think 1 or 2 drinks is different than a night out at the bar, obviously.
Yep.
But even the one nightly drink, I mean, you can read studies, 1 glass of wine will ruin your sleep for the night. So even that stuff I have been limiting. There are plenty of people that go no alcohol while marathon training, and then there are people that drink pretty regularly and they think it doesn't really affect them. So I would just say listen to your body. I knew for me, I wanted to cut back a little bit and be more intentional.
Yeah, I like that though. I mean, it's cool.
But
yeah,
everyone needs to listen to their own body and come up with their own plan. Like obviously, it's not good for you. But.
Yeah, I feel like that's been a trend for us with many of our episodes, and even like Riley.
Yeah.
With her training for Ironman,
and she's someone that has pretty much completely cut out alcohol to train for her Ironman.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. Like, I feel like this is like such a topic with Vaughn and I is like drinking, and God, it's just. After athletics is over, it's almost
dismal.
Well, it's just like you're just drinking to drink. It's not even like for a purpose or like to like have a team gathering.
Well, that's
or,
the thing. Like we had events lined up.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, but post grad, there's not as many of those huge monumental things. I think for mid 20s and late 20s, a lot of those events happen to be weddings, and then people like go all out, and it's all your college friends, and that's a huge rager. It can be birthdays, or it can be that one trip you see your college friends for the year. But besides that, there's not something to drink for every weekend. No. That's the truth.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you just feel fucking shitty. Like you said, like you just feel shitty. It messes you up for the week. I do think there's a difference between having like a glass or 2 of wine and going out and spending $200 and being wasted and then waking up the next morning like, what the hell did I just do?
I also feel like you have to be in a group of people to do that. There's not enough momentum or hype. Even if it's just like you and 1 or 2 other people, it's really hard to rally and want to do that. Because like, what's the point? And I mean, you could say what's the point in general.
100%. Like, I think alcohol is such an interesting topic because I've had these thoughts for a while of, do you know how much time you like take out of your day to drink? Or like you make plans to drink? Like even saying that and thinking, I can't do this because I gotta go drink. What?
I mean, that is so true. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I can't make dinner because Susie has a birthday and the pregame starts at 7 p.m. I think this has been more of a hot topic recently with the mocktail trends.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot more people have gone cold turkey.
I think something I've been trying to do, I want to be better at when I go out to dinner, trying to like limit myself to like 2 drinks. Like, why do you need more than 2? If you're like at a very low-key social, you don't. At all. Like,
you don't need that to talk to some of your closest friends.
No. And the other thing is, like, I think this is where I want to get eventually in, like, the short term is, like, consistently, I have 3 drinks a week. Which is, like, that's still, I feel like that's a lot. Not really, but, well, I don't know.
Depends on
it depends
the person.
who you are, but, like,
yeah.
it's still like, why do you need any of it?
Right.
I don't know. But
I think in general, the cutting back from marathon training has brought me to a place where the less you do it, the less you think you need to.
Yeah.
So it's not even that this time around I was like, oh, I can't drink. I am marathon training. It's like I was already at this place where it was such an occasional thing that when I started up again, I was already used to saying no to that party bus downtown, or no to that bar night, or, oh, I don't really need this drink with dinner and I run tomorrow. It just kind of becomes your new
habits. Yeah. Bring this all together. Freaking new habits.
And my new habits from now on will be learning more women's professional sports names. So I can throw that in Bobby Ryan's face.
Can I just end with one, like, more fun thing? Then we can.
Of course.
Pole dancing is an Olympic sport.
It is? No, it's not. Yeah. According to who?
Reuters.
Is it a Summer Olympic sport? We have the Summer Olympics coming up.
Paris.
They're going to say April Fools.
No. With breaking making its first Olympic appearance at the Paris Games later this year, pole dancers feel it should be their turn to be in the limelight.
So as of this year, it's an Olympic sport?
What is breaking, though? Breaking as in, like, breakdancing? Olympic? It is breakdancing.
Breakdancing's an Olympic sport?
Yes. So...
Wait. Hold up.
Sorry. Breaking is a style of dance that originated in the United States in the 1970s. It took form in the lively block parties in the Bronx, emerging from hip-hop culture, and is characterized by acrobatic movements, stylish footwork, and the key role played by the DJ and the MC, master of ceremonies.
What part of this is sport?
Dude, don't know.
Because we don't have dance as a collegiate sport, but it's an Olympic sport? I have so many questions.
At the Paris 2024 Games, the breaking competition will comprise 2 events, one for men and one for women, where 16 B-boys and 16 B-girls will go face-to-face in spectacular solo battles. Athletes will use a combination of power moves, including windmills, the 6-step, and freezes, as they adapt their moves and improvise to the beat of the DJ's track in a bid to secure the judges' votes and take home the first Olympic breaking title.
So, Bobby, if all sports bars played women's breakdancing during the Olympics this summer, I bet you most people could name 7 women's breakdancers, is what we're trying to say. But as of right now, I can name 0.
Okay, so you know how I said, like, pole dancing, like, one, like, was going to be in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Turns out the pole dancers are just mad that breaking is in the Olympics, but they're not.
I see.
There's beef, but, you know, recap, watch the breaking.
Learn 7 of their names, please.
Learn 7 women's break dancers at the 2024 Paris Olympics.
And maybe if you can name 7, pole dancing will rightfully secure their place in the Olympics next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Email us, DM us, reach out to us, and we look forward to next week. But thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate all of you. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the socials, and just follow along with our story. Okay. Bye.